Hello and welcome, guys. Thank you so much for being here once again. So, today we'll be talking about what is a good domain name and how to get a good domain name and what are the criterias of that good and perfect domain name. So, let's get started. What is a perfect domain name? Nowadays, the domain names now in high demand and growing year after year as more people bring their business ideas online. As we mentioned in our previous videos, domain names are called digital real estate. In real life, a real estate investor hopes to buy a piece of land, domain name in our case, in order to resell it later for a profit or to construct a building on it or to build a website on it in our case. Same as real estate investor that considers various factors to determine the value of that land. We as domainers need to consider many things before investing our money to purchase or acquire any domain name. The most important factors are TLD or top level domain, domain length, keyword strength, brandable, memorability, pronunciation and spelling, avoid hyphens and numbers in domain name, avoid double letters. So let's discover the first factor of our good domain name, TLD or top level domain. Most websites and brands today are using .com as their TLD, and because of its usage and big history, it has the most value compared to the other TLDs. That's why we have to focus more on .com as the first choice. Many brands that don't own .com domain name in their startups try to acquire a .com domain as an upgrade after they have some success in the market. And we have domain length. Short domain names are always better, and here is why. They are memorable and easy to spell, easy to type into your browser, easier to use for sharing content. The best length of any domain name would be one or two keyword domain name, or the ones without meaning less than 6 or 7 letter pronounceable domain name will have value due to brandable potential of the name, and they typically have a higher value than longer domains. And we have keyword strength. The search volume of the keywords is another variable that may determine the strength of any domain. Domains containing keywords that are typed in often in search engines usually have more value because of the potential to reach more customers via organic traffic. A great keyword domain name normally contains one, two, or even three words, which make it a perfect exact match domain name. Brandable. A brandable domain name is typically a non-keyword name with no particular descriptive meaning, and it doesn't typically tell people what the business is about the first time they see or hear it. Brandable domain names are often made up words. Memorability. Would you remember the domain name if you heard it in a radio or saw it in a show? If you are not sure if the answer is yes, then most probably the domain doesn't have that good value. The more memorable a domain is, the more likely a customer will remember it and visit the website again, or even tell friends and family about it. Memorability is a major reason why brandable and shorter domains, especially one and two word domain names, have more value. Pronunciation and spelling. You should choose a domain that is easy to pronounce and spell as well. When users come through your website and find something interesting, the chances they visit your website again are much higher if your domain name is easy to spell and remember. We can just be sure about that by saying that domain name 5 times fast. As example, bidod, 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 bidod. lodiv, 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 dokaf, 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 dokaf. These are all my brand names, and they are 5 letters short, and they are all .com. So that's just an example of what we are talking about. So if we and others can't understand and see it, go for it. If not, keep your searches for another domain name. Avoid hyphens and numbers. Never create a domain name that contains hyphens or numbers. It creates confusion to the user's mind and also looks like spam domain. That's why we should always avoid hyphens and numbers at any cost. If we choose a domain name that contains hyphens, as example nft-attachment.com, because of the actual domain nft-attachment.com is already taken, then users will go to our competitor's website if they forget to add hyphen in our domain name. Avoid double letters. It's not a good idea to use double letters in a domain name. People will misspell it, and this may cause the traffic loss. However, there are some examples of quite popular websites which include repeated letters in their domain names, but for sure they have spent more budget in brand awareness before they got there. And yes, sometimes we have some exceptions as it's not a fixed rule, but there are quite low chances that a double letter domain will sound like a brand, as there are too many criteria need to be met to make that happen. So that's it for today's video. Hope you got some value from this video as well. Thank you so much for watching this video once again. See you in the next video. Mustapha was here, mrfulltime.com.